everyone, welcome back to Trees and Turtles. My name is Imogen. In today's video, I'm sharing why I feel like I'm starting over at 22. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to do that. Give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and let's get started. So this is going to be more of like a stream of consciousness video, so if that's not really your vibe, maybe skip to the next one. But I've been thinking a lot about the concept of like starting over, and I feel like I'm really at a point in my life where I am kind of in a new chapter, a fresh start, whatever you want to call it, and I wanted to like reflect on why I'm feeling like that, because there's been a lot of big changes in my life, and I think this is also quite common when you're in your early 20s. So if anything I share in this video helps you, then please let me know in the comments, because I love hearing from you. So let's get started. I've been feeling this way for kind of a long time. By a long time I mean months, obviously. And the reasons for this, I sort of did a brainstorm and I came up with several reasons. So the first one is that I just graduated, okay? So if you're new to this channel, I just graduated from Durham University with my bachelor's degree in geography. And that was something I've been working on for the last 3 years, obviously. So that was kind of a significant end of an era. And my degree, obviously, is the biggest academic challenge that I've ever had. And finishing it really feels like the end of a big chapter and the start of a new one. So that was sort of a big catalyst, I think, for me feeling like I'm starting over, because this is a completely new phase of life. And I don't mean starting over in the sense of going back to square one. I feel like I'm at, I don't know, square 300, but I've leveled up to a new part of the game. This analogy is falling apart. Let's move on. Number two, I'm starting a new job. So obviously I finished my degree and I'm entering the workforce. Now obviously I've been part of the workforce on and off since I was 19, because I worked just before I started university, and then like throughout holidays and so forth. I also worked the first 6 months of my final year. I've talked about that in other videos, so I'm not going to go into it now. But this is something completely new. Like, this feels like my first proper big girl job. So that is kind of coming at the same time, and yeah, I want to emphasize that everything in this video is kind of like landed on my head at the same time, so maybe that's why I have a sense of, oh, I'm starting over, you know? Alright, number three, I just moved into my first apartment alone. Yes, this is my apartment. And I've never lived alone before, and I'm gonna be making some videos about living alone, so if you're interested in that, stay tuned for those. But it really does feel like a sort of a blank canvas. I moved into this apartment unfurnished, so I've had the fun and expense of furnishing it and decorating it, and I'm like not completely done. I'm mostly done furnishing it, I'm not done decorating it, so that's a new start. Also, I have revamped my friendships. So over the past few years, I've lost touch with a lot of people, but I've also really created and strengthened my connections with a lot of amazing close friends, and these have all been some really positive changes. In the past year, I reconnected with some people that I'd wanted to talk to again for years, and it's been absolutely amazing. I feel really hugely positive about the changes in my social circles, so that's something that's been really kind of heartwarming this year, in the past like few years, and especially this year, in the last year, and it's been like semi-intentional. I'm gonna say it's like 75% intentional and 25% luck or, you know, chance. But yeah, so my sort of social circle has been changing a lot as well, and it wasn't as sudden as the other changes like graduating, getting a job, getting an apartment, but it's definitely been something that has sort of reached a level where it's really noticeable in my life. Does that make sense? Okay, next point. I've changed my style a lot. If you knew me when I was like 17, which I am assuming most of you did not, because I started my channel much more recently than that, but for any of you who knew me before I went to university, I was very different in terms of style. If you compare me at the start of uni to me now, I look like a completely different person. Some major changes, like I changed my entire wardrobe. I used to have long brown hair, I now have short blonde hair. I learned how to do makeup, kind of. And at first, I kind of didn't recognise the person I was seeing in the mirror, and I'd go home for the uni holidays, and I'd walk past people that my parents knew on the street, and they just wouldn't recognise me whatsoever. I even spoke to several of them, and they did like a double take, like, who is this? But anyway, now I do really feel like a new person and it feels great, so that's good. And I have like one more change as well. There's a lot of uncertainty in my life at the moment. Like, this is just a general thing. I feel like everything is kind of uncertain and I'm kind of like finding my feet with this whole like being an adult thing. And honestly, I expect it's going to be the same for the rest of my 20s. Like, I'm aware that your 20s is a big period of change, and I'm aware that maybe it feels like I'm going to be starting over for a while, but it feels like there are a lot of possibilities. So that's the sort of the positive, like, flip side. There are a lot of possibilities, and that's very exciting. So I'm aware this has been kind of like an unstructured rant, although it had some structure, I don't know. Did it have structure? Let me know. But yeah, that's why I feel like I'm starting over at 22. If you can relate, let me know in the comments. If you're not already subscribed, what are you doing? Get subscribed and give this video a thumbs up. Follow me on Instagram. I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye.